check yourself and see. I think sometimes, and I know I do this, but
Hmm.
I think sometimes, depending on the esteem you have for that person, you will then naturally put yourself in a position to be the victim in the scenario. All right. So let's
Hmm.
say, um, I have friends who are famous, right? I sometimes, if I don't hear from them because of the esteem I offer them, I think, well, I don't want to bother them, but I'll notice that I haven't heard from them in a while. And so it's like, hey, if this is a relationship, you got to remember you have just as much to input in the get back. Like, and it doesn't have to be a
That's
celebrity.
my
It's
point.
just sometimes we have people in a certain esteem that we don't want to bother them. Well, we don't know if they're available. And it's like, but you still haven't reached out to them either. And so a lot of times I've had people who have said something to me about not hearing from me. And then I'll say, now, wait a minute, did I miss your call? And they say, well, I don't know when you don't have to know.
Yeah.
Call, leave a message. I'll hit you back. But you can't, but people will put that on the person that they
Yeah. Yeah.
have put that on,
That's
right?
so
And
good,
so see
Eunice.
who you are in that. Who are you in the
That's so good.
storyline?
That's so good. And that speaks to valuing yourself as an essential value add to the equation.
Mm-hmm.
If you want Z, make sure your X
Right.
is accounted for in everything that you must give to it, so that if your expectation of Z is what it is, you're not you're you not getting to the Z is not because you didn't show up
Mm-hmm.
as your part of the equation, as the X. That Y, yeah, that's on them. But
Mm-hmm.
you make sure that you are holding yourself, because I think you're right. A lot of us do depreciate ourselves when we hold high regard for other people, and it's not fair. I found
Right.
myself doing that a lot in this industry, but I also found myself on the flip,
Mm-hmm.
where I talk to some of the most famous folks that a lot of people would never know I know and talk to. I just talk to them straight up, and they are just like, Major, that's why I love you. That's because you
Mm-hmm.
be just giving it to me. You just tell me
Mm-hmm.
straight out. And I'm like, I mean, I see you as a human being,
Right.
but it's crazy that I still reserve certain other relationships where it's like, nah, I don't want to bother them, or I don't want to look like
Right.
I'm doing
Right.
too much. And
Right.
it's like, what?
But
What's
when
the
people do that
difference?
to you, you're like, "Look, call me, hit me up.
Yes,
Don't do
exactly.
that." But we find ourselves on either side of the coin depending on how we feel about that person. And sometimes you're breaking your own heart, right? Like I said, I have to consciously say, okay,
Woo!
so I have
And
this friend.
sometimes you're breaking your own heart.
Listen to me. I had this friend that was getting ready to go to this award show and he was nominated for an award. And I know he got all this stuff to do and red carpets to walk and all that. And I thought, I'm going to wish my friend a great evening.
Yeah.
I did not say, well, he's busy and I know he got ill and I don't want to say nothing to him. I said, no, I'm going to send my friend the sentiment that I feel for him right now.
Yes.
Right. And I'm saying sometimes we have to just listen to what our spirit is telling us to do and not shrink based on, I don't want to be rejected or I don't want them not to respond just say, hey, I'm just sending this out there to you. That's it.
So we're gonna wrap this with a beautiful bow. But there literally, I go to this new church called Believe Church, LA. And or I think it's going to be my new church home. I've been going consistently with the Mrs. Yesterday I went, and they were on a series called Modern Love, and it was talking about how love informs faith. You cannot arrive in the fullness of faith lest you have love. And what love provides is choice. If it's true love, if it's God love, it provides choice. It's not conditional. You got to give me this in order for you to receive this. It provides choice, and it provides room for the choice to be what you would want it to be or not,
Right.
but it still chooses to love. And by faith, you are loving no matter what, because you understand that this thing is a purpose thing that requires your steadfastness in love in order for you to see the fullness of what it can benefit for both of you, like the beauty of it. That was a long way of basically saying at the end of the day, when you spoke to um, uh, taking the risk, that's what real love and relationship is. Because if it's founded on something that is meaningful, you will take the risk of being the annoying one or the
Mhm.
pest to say, "Hey, just reaching out. I even if they haven't called you in a few days, just reaching out just to check in on you because I care about you."
Mhm.
That's what love is willing to jump out on a limb and take that risk for the greater reward. And 9 times out of 10, you come back with a reward. Nine
And
times out of 10.
and even if the reward is not immediate, it is not going unnoticed. Whether that person hits you back or
Woo!
not. God forbid they will see you somewhere or hear something about you and they will know that person always checks in on me. That person, I gotta do, you know what? I gotta hit them. You know what? I heard and I didn't and you know what I'm saying? So it don't matter. You got to get past your own little hurt feelings, right? And say, okay, is this about me? All of us are human, and feel that, and feel like it was rejection. But
Yes.
you plant those seeds, and they blossom, they grow, and you're in people's spirit. And I actually tell young people this about networking and when they're trying to get opportunities as they matriculate from like college or internships. I say reach out to people when you don't need nothing. Just say, hey, I saw this in the news and thought about your
I,
company and
I
just
used to
wanted
do
to
that
say I was
yes, I
watching this.
still
Or
do it. Yeah.
just, yeah, to this day. That's why I said the
Yes.
guy that I know
To
that's
this
been coming
day.
here for 25 years. Oh, he gonna hear from me, right? And so it's one of those things. Oh, I'm gonna tell that story right quick because this is actually a cool story. The guy said 25 years
I'll
in the
let that be the closing story.
Okay, so
But end it
so
with
when
that.
I was 24 years old and I was looking for a new opportunity, I had just left the Tennessee Titans. We were about to leave the Tennessee Titans. I had a friend that worked at Nike, and I said, "Oh,
Mm,
I would love to work for Nike. Do you know anybody I could call?" And he gave me a name and a number, and he said, "Call this person." And I said, "Okay,
yeah.
now who is this? Is this the PR person, the marketing person?" He said, "This is the VP of Jordan Brand." And
Mm.
I said, "Well, I'm not calling." I was like, "You don't know nobody in the mail room?" Now, keep in mind, I'm 24. Why would you give me the phone number of the VP of Jordan Brand and tell me to call him? After about a day or two, I had a lot of audacity back then. I called him and I left a message. Hi, this is Eunice. Mike told me to give you a call. He called back. And that is how our friendship started. And so for all these years, because I used to work in sports, I would see him at the All-Star games, see him at the events. I would email, hey, I just got a job here. Hey, I just saw he wrote a book years ago and he sent me a copy of his book. And the inscription said, the Grand Canyon was formed by one single drop of water. Eunice, you are that one single drop. Right? Like he just always spoke life into me. Now, let me wrap it up. When I say VP of Jordan Brand, he still is. His name is Howard White. He's Michael Jordan's best friend. He was played by Chris Tucker in the movie Air, Ben Affleck's movie.
Incredible
Um,
movie, in my
and
opinion.
okay, but the Chris Tucker played Howard. This is a
Yes.
person that I've known for 25 years that I probably haven't seen 25 times. And it's this magic of connection, right? It's somebody that says, hey, if I email Howard right now, he's going to respond within 1 minute, right? And it's because I've never asked him for anything. I've never required anything, but also he has given of himself freely because I'm like, hey, I saw, he had a heart transplant a few years ago. I mean, just crazy, interesting people that you will collect in this world when you don't center yourself in their lives, but also knowing that you add value to their life as well. That's
Yeah,
my story.
I think that's a great story and a great share, and I think many people are going to benefit from this conversation. This was in no way an encouragement for you not to lean into the great goodness that is you. But it's also to say that not every scenario has you at its center focus. Not every situation has you as the priority. And it's actually okay. It's actually okay because what is meant to prioritize you will certainly find you. But keep a healthy balance of understanding that life be lifing for everybody, beautiful people. Let this be an affirmation. And I'll say it again. What's for me won't miss me. What's for me won't miss me. I am valuable. By grace, I am worthy. And that's the same for any and everyone else. Make room for it. Don't welcome the worry. Don't welcome the anxiety. You're not all knowing. You may never know. But take it one opportunity at a time to show up well in every space so that your track record can be clean and consistent. It ain't always about you, but in this moment, it's about you and we love you. This is The Hope in Between with Major and Eunice Elliott. I loved this episode, Eunice.
Me too.
Yeah. Until next time, beautiful people, make sure you get over to youtube.com/now that's major to see more of our episodes. Spread the word. We have new socials on IG. It's The Hope in Between Pod. Follow our page, spread the word. For the few folks that have been with us and are rocking strong, we want to say thank you. And for the ones that are jumping on board, welcome. It gets good over here. We love you. Take care.